Cue my theme music. Because you know every legit pod gotta have a theme music.
Gotta have it, bro.
We're gonna drop it on them. You know what I'm saying? We are here.
Yes.
We are here, ladies and gentlemen. This is episode 1 of the EFS podcast. Episode 1 of the EFS podcast.
Go.
Let my theme music run.
We arrived, baby. We here.
We live. We in effect.
Yes, sir.
We rocking.
Beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful thing.
The beautiful fucking thing.
Yes, it is, man.
Beautiful fucking thing. We here. It feels great. I feel marvelous.
Yes.
My energy is up. I'm in a great space mentally, physically, all things in between.
Woo.
And we here for y'all, the people, the consumers, the viewers, the listeners.
Yes. Family.
The family.
Yeah, man.
Because we all want family.
We all want
in
family,
one way or
man.
another.
We connected, baby. We connected.
One way or another.
Welcome to the EFS podcast, y'all.
Welcome to the EFS podcast, episode 1. I am your host, D. Burke. And on episode 1, we got a lot of introducing to do.
Yes,
I'm going to just be honest. When I dropped my little teaser the other day, people who's going to, I heard you say something about your co-host and, who's going to be on the podcast with you and et cetera, et cetera. And I'm like, in due time, we'll drop it. So right now, we're going to make it a well known who the co-host is. I am here. Again, I'm your host, D. Burke, EFS podcast. I'm here with my co-host. Tell them who you are, man. Introduce yourself. We'll take the theme music down. We'll take the theme music down.
I like the music having in the background.
Intro.
Yeah,
Big intro.
My name is Waldo Black.
Waldo Black.
Yeah, I am here, man. I'm excited to do this with my brother, man. This has been a long time in the making, right? Long time in the making, and I'm so grateful that you tapped in with me and said, "Yo, I need you for this." You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't understand the behind the scenes, all the work and the lighting and the cameras and the mics and everything that we did to get this.
Talk to him.
We wasn't coming light. We came professional for y'all, right? We want to make sure it was right for y'all.
We ain't go too crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Nah, we went crazy enough though. We here, man. And I just want to say,
in the fourth quarter to put all this shit together.
I'm just saying, I'm grateful to be here. If y'all don't know me, my name is Waldo Black. I'm a singer, rapper, writer, producer. Obviously, one half of the EFS podcast.
One half.
I Delaware Business Time 40 under 40, DETV. Artist of the Year nominee of 2022.
Accolades.
I've done a lot of things in the entertainment industry. Been doing stuff for about a decade and a half. Hosted TV shows. I've hosted weddings, bar mitzvahs, birthday parties. You know what I mean? Whatever I do it all, man. Opened up for people like PNB Rock, LL, Mims. This is why I'm hot. You know what I'm saying?
You ain't tell me all that though.
I'm just saying. I've done a lot in the entertainment world, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, this is another feather in the cap for me. Being able to do this podcast with you, speak to the people, and bring nothing but raw truth, good vibes, good energy. That's what I'm about, man. I'm about positivity and uplifting and just love, man. That's what I'm all about, and that's what I'm hoping to bring and share with my brother here on the EFS podcast. And I'm excited, man. It's a beautiful thing, man. I wish you had an applause set up so we could just
we gotta get the soundboard right. Just know for episode 1, we're not all the way there.
We're not there yet, but we're gonna get there. But I'm just grateful for y'all for listening, for being in, for tapping in with us, man, and for sharing in this journey with my brother D. Burke, man.
The journey. We are here. As you said, man, it's the EFS podcast, episode 1.
Yes, sir.
Feels good. As my brother echoed just now, is taking some things to get this whole thing up and running and together. So at this point, we are here to pump this content thing out. We're going to take this thing as far as we can go. Hopefully we shoot this thing to the moon, to the moon and back.
I see it way up there.
Way up
there.
Way up, you know. But yeah,
I guess the most important thing, because I know, you know what I'm saying, this is the first one, right? They're like EFS podcast, EFS podcast, EFS podcast. I think it's up to you to kind of like, it's on the wall, right? It's
the logo.
It's part of, you know what I mean? Like,
the logo's been cemented for a long time.
Right. Why EFS? What does it mean? Like, share with the people, you know what I'm saying, what got you to use those 3 letters and what they mean, and just give some backstory, because this is the first episode, so most people won't understand that. The casual listener won't know that, so I think it's important for you to share that, you know, with the people.
I bet. So, my angle right?
Yeah, you right, man. You
my
right.
angle is right.
You right there.
What is EFS?
Mm-hmm.
Take notes. Nah, I'm messing around. But EFS stands for, well, it's an acronym. It stands for Engineered for Success. EFS has been my handle on many social media platforms at this point, going back to like 2009, Twitter days, Instagram, et cetera, et cetera. It's really just been a part of me for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Started way back when I graduated Marquette University, headed into the professional ranks of playing basketball.
You know
that was the Marquette Eagle gang, you know. Doing pretty well this year. Shouts to y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully get out there and check out a game soon. Got to see what the schedule looks like.
Right.
But I digress. Back to this EFS thing. It started in 2010, 9-10. I really just wanted something to brand myself. Something to kind of stamp me as an individual to present to the world as who I am. And thinking of different things here and there, it was like, oh, I should do something kind of cool. I've always been into vehicles, cars. You know?
Sir.
I've always been into the Ferraris, the Lamborghinis. You know, I was that guy as a young kid to a young adult.
The BMWs.
You know, fine piece of German engineer right there.
Yes, sir.
But either way, EFS came off of the idea that success is the goal for a lot of people.
Right.
Now, how you get to success is not, there's no real specific blueprint for it.
Right.
But there are things that you need that are oftentimes intangibles that you have to put together in order to reach that goal of whatever success looks like for you.
Dope.
So to break it down, say your goal is whatever.
Mm-hmm.
In order to get to that goal, you have to be determined. You have to have a hustler's mentality. You have to be intelligent.
Yes.
For some people, some goals maybe not. But
all my goals,
you have to be.
I ain't gonna be no fool.
You know, so in general, all the different things that you take that are in your makeup, your character, who you are as an individual, they all become pieces to the engine. Going back to the car, you know, analogy, like taking those things, the determination, you pick that, and that's your transmission. You take your, the fact that you, as an athlete or something, you get up at 6 a.m. to work out, that's your routine. You take that, you put that in, that's the chassis to the vehicle. Like, you put all these different things into the mix to create a fine-tuned machine that then gets you closer and closer to being successful, you know? Because if success is down there and you got to get down the road to success,
yes, sir.
How are you going to get there? You got to get in the car and the wheels got to start turning. But in order for you to power that vehicle, you got to have all those things and, you know, multiple things that you put together, you as a person, to get a little bit closer, step by step, to the goal.
Right.
So for me, Engineer for Success was like, okay, success is here. For me, my different goals throughout my life, you know, being a college basketball player, being a professional basketball player, all other little miniature goals and stuff throughout that time too. Like, those are the things I was looking for to make myself a success. So I'm like, all right, you know, I'm achieving these things. I'm doing these things. I'm checking certain things off the list. Then I must have the engine to reach the goals or things that, you know, I'm looking for to be successful. So at that point, light bulb, boom. All right, well, I like this EFS thing. Put it on Twitter. Burke underscore EFS.
Wow.
And from there, kind of transitioned into something that I wanted to do for, I would say post-athletic, but a lot of it kind of came around while I was still, overseas being an athlete, through then training young clients like basketball players and having the opportunity to give back in the game, and doing things to make it a little bit more legitimate and forming it as an LLC.
Yeah.
So that, I can use it to, make my mark.
Yep.
And from there, EFS kind of was born and it stuck with me ever since. And to this day, I still feel like I am engineered for success. And to me, it's more so not even just an acronym. It's like a lifestyle. It's a way of being that I think for me is really speaks to who I am. And,
That's dope,
I hope that I can connect with many people on that. And, through this platform, hopefully, if you guys rocking with it, fucking with it, then join the gang, man. EFS gang. And
we all trying to, reach success. That's what we all trying to do. And I think that
we hope.
I don't know any person in my life, and if you're not a person that's trying to strive for success, I may not be the person that needs to deal with you. Yeah, I mean, and I'm looking at what you. I mean, because I know I said my little accolades, but let's not sneeze at your accolades either, man. Like being a professional basketball player is not. It's a very select few amount of people that can say that sentence by itself.
1%.
Exactly, it's 1%. So 1%. I know that
and you got to qualify that too. Like, there's a lot of people that get to being a professional basketball player. There's a lot of people get to the point where somebody's going to pay them to play basketball, and they're going to do it in some country, hopefully for the highest level, the NBA. We all know that, but basketball is broad all over the world. There's people getting paid for opportunity.
International. Yeah,
you have to qualify that by saying 10 years of this.
Talk your shit, man.
As a athlete.
Talk your shit.
That's stepped away for 4 years now, going on 5, but before 10 years, a decade of
professional basketball at an elite level.
Elite.
That's what I'm saying.
Ask about me. Ask about me. Nah, I was a very good player. I worked my ass off to get to who I was as a player, where I got as a player, and obviously things don't always pan out the way you want them to.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I think that I carved out a good lane for myself, doing something that was very dope, that still reigns very, very true to the core of my being.
Right.
So yeah.
So I guess
we get it down.
Yeah, I mean,
a lot of dudes one and done, couple years
come on
done,
now.
And then no disrespect, but they bow out, they move on to other things, which we all do at some point.
Yeah,
all stars bounce for everybody, but 10 years got a different, air on it.
And that's why I love what our podcast has the potential to do. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not only does it have the intersectionality of just you as a professional basketball player, me, entertainment industry. Right, I performed in stadiums and done a bunch of different things in entertainment. And there's a lot of intersection between music, entertainment,
a lot of parallels,
and
parallels for sure,
sports and athletics. Mm-hmm. Right, but beyond that, we can also just talk about our personal lives because, like you said, what happens after the ball stops bouncing? Right,
big talk.
Right, so we can kind of give that, and then figuring out, or at least showcasing from a personal perspective some real raw truths to like how success changes.
Success, it's always moving. From my perspective, it is always moving.
Right.
So yeah, I can speak to a lot of that.
Speak. Look, don't have me waiting. Like, listen, they here now because I think for you, I mean for me, like even this podcast, right? I feel like we're now adding new like feathers in our caps.
Oh yeah,
as podcast hosts,
completely different. Right? This is,
and we're gonna be successful for because engineered for success is not just it's a broad mentality that even encompasses this very podcast. That's why it's like
for sure.
This podcast is engineered for success from the effort we put in from day one, trying to get it off the ground, do all these things, have these discussions, these meetings. You know what I mean? Really going back and forth.
Getting it here make me engineered for success. I don't know, like
you know what I'm saying?
Like getting it here makes me engineered for success.
Exactly.
If you knew, I am by no means an audio engineer or a visual, profession. Like I'm not that. Yeah. I'm learning. I'm growing.
Right.
But we got all that up and running now. So
exactly.
Being here is
exactly, bro.
You know, shout out to all the other podcasts. But if you got somebody running your shit, you ain't from the mud.
Not like us.
You ain't from the mud.
You ain't like EFS.
You got a team. Like you ain't running this shit yourself.
Dancing all in the videos in the background. No, I'm teasing. No. So now that we're here, now that we understand what EFS is, bro, like I just want to know. You said it somewhat. Success is always moving. So what is success? What is it? Because if it's always moving, how do you know when you got it? How do you know when if it's tangible, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, not to get big words in this mug, but I'm just really trying to, because as a person that has been, you know, I even go down to a fitness level on weight loss. I'm on a weight loss journey. People see me at my current size and they say, "Man, this guy's big, man." But they don't understand. I was almost 400 pounds at one point.
Right.
I was like 387 pounds, and now I'm 320.
Big progress.
That's huge.
Yeah.
To me, that's success because I'm consistently pushing towards my goals, and it's again always moving. But that's success. But to someone else, they be like, "Oh man, you out of shape. You gotta lose weight." And I agree. But for me, I'm very successful in my weight loss. How do you determine what is success for you in your life? And then, you know, what's the guidance or what's the thing you would tell the listener or somebody that's just out here trying to move forward in their life? Especially if you're a trainer too now. You're a trainer too, so you can give me some weight loss some pointers.
Yeah, no, we can talk about that too.
Nah,
we will talk about that too. This is an all-encompassing podcast. Like it's going to be everything that reigns true to me. It's going to be organic. It's going to be like, there's no cap in our raps at all. No we caps. Ain't out here spitting a bunch of bullshit. Like, everything is going to be truthful.
Facts.
So yeah, we'll dive into the fitness thing at some point, for sure, 100%. But back to your original question, the success thing.
Please.
All right, success for me, I gotta preface anything I say after this by letting you and the listeners know I'm wired very differently.
Okay.
Like I think very differently in a lot of different ways.
Okay.
I just said different twice, but
yeah,
either way, I'm a different thinker for sure.
I'm here for it.
For me, success is always moving because once you achieve something,
okay,
what is the next thing for you to achieve? You know, and it's not that you're not successful in total, but as people, we're always transitioning to a different version of ourselves as we go throughout life.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not the same me that I was in 2009 when I left Marquette to play basketball professionally. I wasn't the same me halfway through my professional career that I was when I started my professional career. I'm not the same person now 4 years after I left the basketball industry as a player to, you know, like, you always moving on to something else. So for me, success is fluent. It's always transitioning to the next thing. And I say I'm wired very differently because I often don't give myself credit for the things that I have achieved in my life. You know, so
talk about that, man.
That is a flaw, I guess, in a sense. Like, I can accept that as something that I should be a little bit more. Give myself grace, as they say.
Come on now.
And all that other shit. But
I'll give you your flowers here, man. You're a great man. You're a great man, great father.
I appreciate that.
Nah,
man.
Seriously. I see
appreciate
everything you do, and like you put your team on your back. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not trying to spill any, you know what I mean, but even going back to like some of the things you do for work, like when chips fall down, you're up 4 a.m. getting things done. You know what I'm saying? Making tough plays and decisions, and it's not the same as on a basketball court, but it's you leading, and I'm just like, you know, you better if you don't give the accolades, I see you, and I'm like, man, I gotta step my game up. You know what I'm saying? It's inspiring to me.
Again, I appreciate that. You know, I bust my ass. I like to consider myself a workhorse.
Yeah.
You know, things that I don't really get credit for from some people, because I've heard personally that people don't respect my grind, in a sense.
Right.
Not to say they don't respect it because it's like flawed or like fugazi in any kind of way, but they don't respect I was told people don't respect how I run myself. You know,
and that's weird for me.
Craziest shit I ever heard. Because my whole life I'm just used to just grind. And the only way I made it to anywhere that I was at in life was by putting effort in and grinding. So to hear that I was like, people don't respect the way you move, like, and like people don't respect the way you overcommit to things and you just go. To me, I'm like, damn, like, the fuck? Like, am I doing something wrong?
What would be the alternative?
Like, that's the alternative?
Exactly.
Sit around and coast and just wait for shit to happen?
Nah,
like,
that's not why we're
like,
here.
I'm a self-starter. I'm a go-getter. I'm a person who's willing to try to make the most out of any situation.
I never understand that. I feel like a lot of people just don't have a motor, like you said. That's what that EFS that you referenced the car, they don't have a motor in them, right? Their horsepower is not the same as your horsepower.
It ain't.
You know what I'm saying? So you're trying to push, and they're over there like. But I feel like that's what
different.
It speaks to insecurities in people, and I feel like I've gotten that too.
I ain't want to call it that, you know.
But that's me. That's
like
not
to
saying that's not you. That's me. That's just me. I know that people.
I let you say it for me, man. Fuck it. Tell it. Talk to them.
When people in my life, right? I would always get this. This is the one I would get. It wouldn't be that. It would be something along the vein, though. It would be, you doing too much, or you extra.
That's kind of what
you know what I'm saying. I'm like,
told.
What?
I work too extra.
Who in the hell, can tell me what too much is for my life? I would never accept that, because if you're extra, if you're too much, that means that you're not conventional. You're not conforming to whatever they think is the right amount of work ethic, of tenacity, of vigor, of confidence, because they'll give you the other labels, right? And that's where it's all about labels. They'll give you you're arrogant, or you're conceited. But if you look at those words and I look at who my benchmark of who that the mentality was, Kanye's a crazy confident person. He doesn't allow himself. And when I watched the documentary of Kanye, they went back to his mom or whatever they said.
Yeah, I seen it.
Right. She basically said you can do anything that you can put your mind to. Can you imagine if you had that level of confidence instilled on a consistent basis? And I'm like, I know I ain't had that. That wasn't what I got. I got something like you could try, you can do this, do that, and I still think I'm pretty successful.
Yeah, no doubt.
But imagine if I got the full gambit of like, you can do whatever through my childhood, through my teenage years, through my adult years, that same vote of confidence. Man, I tell you, so now that I'm at the stage in my life, I'm like, I listen to what you say, and it just like triggers something in my mind. I'm like, I don't let no one tell me that I'm doing too much. If anything, I only want people around me that say I'm not doing enough.
Yeah, it was a real moment to when I had to take a step back and really reevaluate some things, to the point where
I was
questioning myself.
Yeah.
And I know we're in a society now where people don't value work the same as they used to.
They don't work.
People
don't work.
People work. Everybody works.
They don't.
You got to work to. Well, some people don't work.
They don't. I'm telling you, I was in the restaurant, and I'm asking for simple things from the waitress.
True.
She's like,
because
okay,
again,
I'll get there.
People don't value work. It's going back to what I said. People work because the bill's gonna come, and if you ain't got no money to pay them, they're gonna cut your shit off, or whatever the outcome is going to be.
I think we're saying the same thing in just different ways.
They just don't value work.
Yeah, I think there's no there's no
the grinders are the people that I look up to, the people who literally made a way for themselves to achieve whatever the hell they achieved.
Right.
To me, that's not the mentality anymore. So I really had a moment where I'm like, damn, fuck, am I doing something wrong here? Like, respect the way I run myself. Like, I'm up here doing what I got to do. And I'm only doing what I know because I'm taking the same effort and energy that I applied to getting as far as I did as a athlete, basketball player, and now putting it into a different avenue, lane, industry.
Yep.
But so I'm just doing what comes natural to me.
But
see the goal, see the task, try to figure out a way to get there by just going, like literally just going. So it's just natural to me.
Right.
But to hear that people don't respect that, to me, is some bullshit.
Yep.
And again, everybody can feel like what they feel. I know what's true to me.
Exactly.
And
that's all that matters, really.
The EFS, like, to me, that's literally like I am a machine to try to get where I'm trying to go.
Yep.
And of course, I'm not perfect. Like, I make mistakes all the time. I made a mistake yesterday. I'll make one tomorrow. I'm gonna make one 2 weeks down the line. I'll make one next year. So it's never to say that you are absolved from any kind of trials or tribulations.
Right.
But the goal is the goal.
Yep.
You know, to be able to be successful in whatever I choose to do.
Yeah.
You know, and to put forth the effort and energy and mentality to making it happen.
Yeah.
And sometimes it takes busting your ass. Sometimes it takes people looking at you funny, like, what are you doing, for you to look back and say, you know, I got it now.
So,
like, literally, I got it now.
So I'm here now. So
I
now
got
what?
it now. I seen something online. I can't remember exactly how it says, but like everybody basically saying everybody doubted you until like you actually do
right.
it.
Yeah,
and then everybody's jumping on you. Fucking,
great job.
Right, you know.
No, you
It's
wasn't
like
there when it was a bunch of people saying that I couldn't do it or I shouldn't do it, or
and it ain't shit that ain't been heard before. But at the end of the day, it's literally
I don't like
that.
those people. I don't like those people. Okay, if you're gonna be a person that's gonna be negative Nancy, or you know what I'm saying, or crazy Karen, whatever you want to call them, and just tries to rain on other people's parades, tries to minimize other people's greatness. That's what it sounds like to me when I get into a space. You know what I'm saying, and I'm doing my thing, right? And I'm speaking from a music perspective. I'm thinking as an artist, right? When I go on a stage and I'm out here doing what I got to do, and I get people that are negative, right? Or I get people, because a lot of my shows, I do it in front of crowds, like maybe 4,000 people, right? But my lane is different. My lane isn't. I'm not sitting here talking about drugs, sex, and violence, right?
Definitely got a different musical.
Exactly.
You know?
So my lane is different, and people will say, well, why you ain't gotta, but why don't you do, and why don't you have this, and what? I'm like, cause that's not me. I'm being me authentically. Why would I then try to be like somebody else? Right? Why would I dumb my music down or turn it into something that's negative just so I can amass some kind of popularity? That's not even genuine. That to me is in line with what you're saying about how I feel like the old saying is that the road to success is paved with good intentions, right? But there's also other things like speed bumps in that road.
Facts.
And those are the people that we're describing in my mind are the speed bumps, right? And you just got to roll right over them. And I know I'm not saying like go out there and to your car and go hit people in your car. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is though, when you're in these moments and you get these people that have these conversations, right? It takes a lot to believe in yourself already. To get up and try to do something and be something, it takes a lot. So when you got someone in your arena or in your circle that's telling you something or questioning your work ethic or questioning your abilities, it's like I got to fight past you just to get back into a space where I'm ready to go do what I need to do to get things done. That's not conducive to success. That is the alternate outlook for success, right? That's why I say it's a speed bump. It slows you down, and you got to be careful how quickly you go over it, because it might damage your vehicle, right? Or damage the motor, or damage, you know what I mean? All the things are the pieces to that vehicle to get into success.
I ain't even here to fight with them, if I'm just be honest. I ain't here to fight with you about what you believe I should be, shouldn't. It's a small handful of people that I actually give a fuck what they really
value their
truly
opinion.
Think about me as a person, you know. And those people is usually the ones they think like me.
Yep.
They move like me in a certain sense, and they can connect. And if you connect, great. If you can't, then it's cool. Each his own. We all got different things that we want in life,
right?
You know. But for me, it's all about conquering one thing and then still trying to leave room for me to grow in other areas, because even as an athlete, I was always forward thinking, like, even in the middle of my professional career, I'm thinking about what happens when the ball starts bouncing.
Yeah.
And that's a whole lot of different conversations wrapped up into one.
We're going to talk about it. Don't worry. It may not be on this episode, but we're going to get into a lot of different
content
things.
out, man. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. But in general, I am the product of hard work.
Yeah.
And the product of a very expansive mind. Like, I'm always thinking about what I can do and what I can be successful at. Yeah. And now, post-athletically, i.e. Kobe Bryant, God rest his soul,
right?
Like, the people that leave the game and try to conquer other things, different avenues, different lanes, different... He up there for a reason,
he's up there for a reason.
So, like, for me, those kind of people are people that I want to emulate, in a sense. Not to say I'm copying Kobe's blueprint, but you got to think a certain way as an athlete. And when you leave athletics, like, the lessons that you take can help you be successful in many other different things. Just because you have things within you that the regular civilian does not.
Yeah.
There's no disrespect. You're just sharp. Me, I just happen to be even more sharp as far as the level of tenacity that I want to go at certain things with, just because I come from a different upbringing as far as
just say you got
basketball.
That dog in you.
I mean, if you want to put it that way, yeah, no doubt. Like, it is that,
Yeah.
I'm from a place of, shout out to Marquette University, like, grew me, built me as a young man to be low excuse.
Yep.
High work ethic. And just go.
Exactly.
Low excuse, high work ethic, go. See how far I can get you.
Get after it.
I wasn't the best player on my team. Like, I had dreams of making it to the NBA when I first started playing basketball. It didn't pan out that way. But again, success is always moving.
Exactly.
So what's the next thing after you don't see certain things pan out in a way? I have feelings about why I feel like it didn't pan out that way. Shit we'll get to at some point.
Yeah.
Regardless, low excuse, high motive, see how far you can take it.
Yeah.
I go back to me even wanting to play basketball in the first place. My first dream, my first goal was trying to get a scholarship to a Division I university. Having talks with my mother in high school to say, hey, how's college going to look at her telling me you probably ain't going to college unless...
You're probably not going to get in,
Not even
son.
probably, like, you ain't going to college
That had to be
you...
a hard conversation.
It wasn't, though, because it's like, all right, bet. At this point, I'm going to the league. So college is... Got you, ma.
Got you.
We're going to make it happen. You're going to pay for this basketball pimp? All right, cool. Now I'm going to return your investment in me to then bust my ass to get to a place to where you ain't got to pay a fucking dime for me to go to school. It's my first dream, basketball wise.
And you succeeded.
I succeeded it,
That's tough.
Succeeded in a big way.
Give yourself some grace, man. Give yourself that.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Like,
that's a big deal right there.
I am a person that looks towards the next thing often and not giving myself enough credit. But when I do look back at some shit, I'm like, oh yeah, bro, you did that. You did that, and you did it well. You know. To then go into Marquette University, top 25 every year when me and my freshman class stepped on the campus, so we left. To then springboard in the university to Elite Eight, Final Four, like those kind of, well, not Final Four, sorry, Sweet 16 and Elite Eight, those kind of performances after we, put our stamp on the university, So this is the culture that I come from, you know? So for me, low excuses and high work ethic is just how I'm built.
Yep.
And at this point, now seeing it play out in different ways outside of basketball, after running across the globe for 10 years, giving out buckets, enjoying my time over there, doing a lot of great things and experiencing a lot, becoming a worldly individual in a lot of different ways. So after I leave the game, like, all right, what else can you do, bro?
Yeah.
What else can you do? And I'm in the middle of that now. So right now I feel like I'm just scratching the surface on who I am outside of what I've known my whole life.
Right.
Which is still a part of my core heavily.
Yeah.
You know, basketball, I'm a hooper at my core. I've said it before. I was like, I miss the game every day. Nothing I've done professionally since playing basketball has given me the same feeling as that one thing that I'm just known for, you know. But now that I've stepped away from that for reasons some are known and a lot we'll get into, because we here to share stories and to keep it transparent and really, you know, go about my path in certain ways. Right. And then, you know, we ain't gonna make it heavy and all that. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna keep this shit lit, but there's a lot of dope things to get to just off of what I've been through, more or less.
Yeah, but I like that.
Either way, man, I just think that I'm just a person that likes to take on new challenges. And this being one of them, you know, we're in the content space now. The content space is here. We're opening ourselves up to all kind of shit. You haters, you people who want to jump in the comments about, oh, why like, you know,
get them.
We here.
Get them.
You know, we here for all that. We embrace all that bullshit, and we're gonna keep pushing this thing to the fucking moon. Like, that's literally where it's going, and I really believe that in my soul. Like, this idea to even start a content like space like was with me when I was overseas playing basketball. Yeah. You know, at that point, self-doubt was a big thing to overcome, and just not even understanding where the space was at. Right. At that time. Yep. To even dive into it and make a mark, you know.
It's a perfect timing now though. I think us coming together and being in the space that we're in now, and just having the freedom to do this at a high level, right? Is going to give us this a platform that's going to just, like you said, to the moon, man.
It's to the moon, man. You can't tell me it's not. I'm speaking that shit into existence. Like, we here. I've been sitting on this idea for years, man. Shouts to everybody that helped get me here. You know who you are. You know the conversations I had to have with you to even create this. Yeah. And at this point, it's just a start. We're really looking forward to just presenting great content to you guys, multifaceted, whatever.
Yeah. So my question is, who is this podcast for? Just in a nutshell.
This podcast,
in your opinion,
man, this podcast is for the self-starters.
Okay.
Who are willing to make the most of any situation.
All right. The self-starters.
The self-starters who are willing to make the most of any situation. And that just that ain't even got to be athletics. That can be, you could be an engineer. You could be the person who's down on your luck and you got to get a job at freaking McDonald's or somewhere just to make ends meet. And this ain't it for you, but it's the step to where you want to get where you getting to where you want to go. Yeah. This podcast is for those people. This podcast is for the people that just can connect with great energy, great mentality, and just people who are from a different cloth, man. This podcast is for
you.
For you.
It's for you. It's for you. Listening right now. It's
listening
for you.
Right now. If you're listening right now, tell a friend. EFS is here. We coming.
We are here.
And we on deck.
Let's go.
On deck, man. We're going to keep things current. We're going to get to a lot of current events. We're going to get to a lot of sports and entertainment. You know, for me, is anything that's organic to me is on the table, man. You know, health and wellness, the fitness side of things, just whatever it is, man. Whatever it is. There ain't too many conversations that
off limits.
I'm not willing to have on here.
I'm down with that.
You know,
I'm bringing raw truth and just realness and positivity. And what are you gonna bring? I'm just saying, share it with the gang.
What I'm gonna
the
bring?
EFS gang. What you gonna bring, man?
I'm bringing me, man.
Yeah,
I'm bringing me.
Yeah,
I'm bringing me. We're gonna do the guest thing, but in all honesty, I don't think that this is going to be a guest heavy podcast.
Yeah.
We're going to tap people in when we need them. And, you know, there's a lot of people that I've started reaching out to some of y'all already. So don't big time me when it's time to get the remote interviews or show up and sit on the couch with us. Because the guest is coming. We're going to make that a thing. Because there's a lot of dope people I want to talk to. People want to loop into the whole, the EFS lifestyle mindset, the cloth that we cut from, the ilk, all that. You know, there's a lot of people that are of that I respect. And we want to open up those conversations too. But me, I'm bringing me, you know, raw, because I believe that we the talent.
Come on.
We the talent.
Yeah.
Why not?
That's why they here.
Why not?
That's why they here.
You know?
Well, I mean,
Why not?
I know that I thought about this before too when we were talking about the podcast too.
Talk to
I
me.
think it might be good to just share something, like whether it's a story or it's a quote, something that inspired us, something that's got us further along on our journey, in our careers or in our lives. You know what I'm saying?
We did talk about quotes.
Yeah. So I'm thinking that is there a quote that you would like to share, since this is your baby, this is I mean, I'm here with you, of course, but this is the first episode, and this is, man, all the hard work that you've put in to get us here. I would love to just share with the people something that got you, along the path, or a quote that maybe brought you to a higher point in your life and success.
I would say, damn.
As a
Put
closing,
me on the spot. He put me on the spot on the first day.
As a closing, you know what I mean? I thought that would be a dope.
First day.
We can make sure it's planned a little better in the future, but I think this is just a nice way to, you know what I mean, to close us out, to make sure we, leave the listener with something. This is a nice little nugget.
I bet.
Yeah.
The quote, and hopefully we can make this quote sting a thing.
Yeah.
The quote I'm gonna give you is one that I tie very, very closely into what EFS is.
Really?
For me. And kind of what success is for me. And I'll elaborate on it after I say what the quote is and tie it into how I want this podcast to be successful.
Okay.
The quote is, "For in vain you have acquired wisdom if you do not impart it to others." And
yes,
when I first made the LLC for EFS, I had the chance to do clinics, like basketball clinics for low income,
at-risk youth and
the hood, those kids, like that. I was paid to do that.
Come on, man.
For a summer.
He's good, man. I mean, you gotta give yourself some credit, man. You out here doing it, man.
I mean, I'm a trainer, man. I'm a trainer.
Man. So
and this is when I was still playing ball. Like I was still overseas coming back in the summer.
Like my young boy, he was like, yo, I remember him.
Yeah,
when he first saw you, he was like, yo,
that.
you know what I'm saying? Like that's the boy. He came to my school. He showed me. I was like, yeah, man, that's
homie in your wedding.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying,
funny story,
bro.
Funny story.
So I'm like, it's real. Like
I'm at his wedding, and one of the young boys that I connected with, trained a little bit.
Exactly,
he's like, yo,
bro.
You don't even remember when you popped up, and you probably don't remember me. And I'm like, nah.
People look up to you, and
I don't remember you, but shouts to you, man.
You know what I mean? You're a leader, and it's not just. And I'm not trying to just. I'm not going on the bandwagon and all that, but it's just really real. When it's real shit, I gotta give you your flowers, man. Because
I appreciate that, man.
It fortifies what you said, and it's like, it's in vain if you don't share that wisdom or impart that wisdom on others, especially the younger generation.
Yeah.
So it's like, I commend you on that, and I hope this podcast embodies that too, with how we present our legacies and our story of what we've been through.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's showing improving when you get those moments like that.
Nah, I am no good to the next person if I can't help you along the way.
Right.
If it's something that I know, if it's something that I've been through, if it's something if you looking to get along the same path that I took, if you looking to like pick or pull from me and try to, use whatever motivation you can to help yourself out, right. I'm no good to you if I don't give you the information, the experiences, the stories, the everything that I've been through.
Yeah.
The good, the bad, so you can make the best decision for your own life.
Right. Find your path.
Like, if I can't help you along the path, then I'm going to do that.
Yep.
If not, I'm no good.
Yeah.
So for in vain you have acquired wisdom if you do not impart it to others would be the quote that I would want to lead this thing.
Who's that from? Do you know? If you don't know, if it's all good.
I'm blanking.
It's all good.
My short-term memory is shot.
I threw you on a spot, so it's okay.
You saw me on the spot.
It's okay.
Make sure all the fact checks is on point, but I think it was a philosopher, and I can't remember his name right now. If I had enough time, I'll go search for it.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
In general, that's just what I'm looking for. And a double back for what I was going to say before that, after I presented this quote, was that the success of this podcast to me would not only, I take that back because we would love to hope to monetize this thing.
Hey, now.
Please
Cha-ching. Hey, now.
Subscribe, and share to your homies, to your people, like get them on board.
I need a new pair of shoes. Now, tease, go ahead.
You know I like to find a thing.
Come on, now. We'll talk that later. We have fashion talk later.
Chill. Not too heavy on the first day. But for me, impact would be the success of this podcast. Having an impact on people in a positive way.
I love that.
Maybe it's a negative way. If I can impact you in some kind of way to make you feel something, to make you enjoy, to make you learn something, to help you along your day, your path, your week, whatever. Like, for me, that is the goal.
Yes.
With this content space. And we opening ourselves up to a whole bunch of shit. Like I said, once you step into this content arena, like you gotta put yourself out there.
Come on now.
You know, so we standing on that, standing on business. Like we getting that out of here in 2024. I don't really want to hear that shit no more. Yeah, this shit getting old. But either way, we standing on that. Like is that's what we want to do. We want to make impact. We want to have positive impact on the space around me and the individuals that I can connect with in any kind of way. And that's just what reigns true to me. So the success of this podcast will go along with that. And if we do enough of that, impacting people in a positive way, then I believe it's going to be
successful, man.
It's to the moon.
We engineer for it.
We engineer for it. The slogan is EFS, built for it.
Built for it, yeah.
We build engines, so I'm built for it. Yeah. You know? So that's what we're gonna play. Merch.
Well, I mean,
we gotta throw some merch out there at some point.
Listen, monetizing the views, and we get the merch out. We're gonna be rolling the dough. Keep playing this game, right? You know what I'm saying?
Like, subscribe, share.
Exactly. Well, I mean, first episode's in the books. Thank you, everybody. It's your boy Waldo Black, one half of the EFS podcast.
Podcast.
Thank you so much for listening.
Burke is your host and co-host. Should we get the theme music rocking on the way out one more time?
Rock out, baby.
Oh man, we ain't got the shit pulled up.
It's done.
Episode 1 is in the books. EFS podcast. It's lit. Go out there, be great, and we'll catch you the next time around.
We out, baby.